Woohoo! Hey guys, this is Caroline Onyedema, and this is my inaugural live stream on my new channel, Seven Figure Ascent. If you subscribed, you'll probably get a notification, and I'm really excited to be here. It's been a long time coming, guys. Actually, you know, picking up speed and getting the momentum to actually live stream here, because usually I live stream on Facebook. So if you catch this, I just want you to give me some love and some encouragement in the comments. That would absolutely make my day. And yes, for you guys on YouTube, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'd love for the support on this channel. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and what this channel is going to be about, so that we can really kick off Q2 with a bang, all right? So if you're feeling me, give me some love in the comments. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I do, so you can figure out if this is somewhere that you want to hang out. But I'm sure after I tell you, this is going to be the place to be if you're a coach, consultant, service provider, expert in the online business space, right? Absolutely the place to hang out, because I just want you to see me, right, as your go-to mentor from now on, right? I'm just going to put it out there right now. All right. So my name is Caroline Onyedema. I'm a marketing and messaging strategist, business coach, and storytelling savant. All right. I help people who are approaching the six-figure mark. That's my sweet spot. People that are approaching the six-figure mark, I help them to ascend closer to seven figures, right? And thus my business is called, my coaching business is called the Seven Figure Ascent, right? Get it? All right? Seven Figure Ascent, because we're all ascending, right? We all should be ascending every week, every month, every year. We're in this online space. We should be growing and ascending to new levels in our business, in our lives, in our mindset, in our spirit, in our faith, all of those things. And so it's about the ascent that is very important, the ascent that is essential if you want to grow in the online business space. And people just think it's a financial ascent, but like I said, it's emotional, it's physical, it's mental. All of those things come together, because what you're going to understand and what you're going to find out is that as you approach six figures, what gets you to six figures definitely won't get you to 250, 500, 750, or seven figures, right? It's not going to get you to that $1 million mark. And why the $1 million mark? Why the seven-figure mark, guys? Well, I want you to understand that only about 4% of one person, so solopreneur business owners, that's usually when you have a business, but you're the only person on payroll. You might have a few contractors here or there helping you, but only about 4 to 5% of those people will actually hit $1 million in their business. Very sad. So I'm here for the 96%, because I don't think that's right, and I don't think that's fair. All right. Especially as we put so much time and effort and energy and emotion into serving our audience, to showing up every day on social, to creating amazing offers and products and programs that transform people. And if you're that type of coach, right, if you have some great expertise, you have brilliance, and you have taken the time to break out from the status quo, to show up and stand out online, to serve your audience and provide an amazing solution that you know that is not only going to make your client's life a better life, but make the world a better place to live in, then you most definitely need to be on this channel, because that's exactly what my mandate is, to help that small section of the online business world, those who are in it to win it, those who are committed, those that want a long-term, sustainable and profitable business. My mandate is to help you move to new levels in your business. All right. And it's all about the ascent. Okay. So that's Caroline Onyedema, messaging and marketing strategist and storytelling savant, who helps you clarify your message, create killer offers, and structure and streamline your business with systems so that you ascend and anchor in your profits without scaling and spiraling. Because that's usually what happens when people try and scale prematurely. Without solidifying and stabilizing their business, they end up spiraling. And so that's what we don't want. So let me talk to you a little bit about this idea called messaging. Because it doesn't matter what stage you are in business. Yes, my sweet spot is those that are approaching the 6-figure mark. So you're circling around the 6-figure mark and you're eyeing 7, but you don't know how to get there. But I also help people who are at the beginning of their journey really put their stake somewhere online, right? What their sweet spot is online, figure out what they actually want to do so they can ascend to the 6-figure mark. But that's the early stage of your business, right? So the 0 to 100K stage is what I call the bootstrapping and building stage. It's the bootstrapping and building stage. It's when you're trying to figure out where you are, who you are, what you're doing online. You're trying to get sales in. But when you're in that middle stage, right? Or that second stage, which I call the ascend and anchor stage, you're really trying to figure out your messaging, right? Because we understand that what got us to 6 figures is not going to get us to 7 figures. And so the important thing is you clarify your message. Well, what does that mean? Because a lot of people talk about clarifying your message or amplifying your message, which are great terms. They sound good, right? Something like ChatGPT would spit out. But what does that actually look like every day in your business? Well, that's exactly when people come to me. And you will know if you have a messaging problem in your business because you're putting out content, but you're not getting any bites. So it feels like you're speaking to the void. You're not getting any engagement. You're not getting any activity around your content. So it almost feels like you're wasting your time. You're on a content treadmill, but your content is not resonating. You don't even know what content to create every day. So you're very random with your content. You're not inspired by the content you're creating yourself. Sometimes it looks like this. You're creating a lot of how-to tutorial content, almost giving all the secrets away in your programs, in your products, because you don't know what else to say when you're in the marketing realm. So this is what happens before somebody buys your product, right? So you end up just spitting your guts and just teaching what they would buy anyway, leaving no reason for them to actually buy your program. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you've got a package, if you've got a high ticket group coaching program, if you teach one-on-one, you often find yourself just teaching to the masses what you would normally reserve for your containers, for your paid clients, which doesn't help, right? Because then you're redundant. What do they need you for? Another thing is that your visibility is low. So you're showing up for your audience, but you don't have an audience. Your visibility is low. So you know that you need to really articulate your value out there, but you don't know how to. All right? All of these things, you know you have a messaging problem, okay? And so when people say, I need to clarify my message, it might be a few things that need to be clarified. Your visibility plan. So it's not like you don't have something to say, but you don't show up, right? And you don't know where you should show up. So you're like, should I be on Instagram? Should I be on Facebook? Maybe I should be on LinkedIn because I hear all the high ticket, high end clients are on LinkedIn. Or maybe I should be on YouTube because I hear that people are searching for me on YouTube, and YouTube isn't a social media platform, but it's a search engine, but I need to be on YouTube. Or maybe I need to be on Instagram because I talk to the millennial crowd and, you know, they're on Instagram. Or maybe I should be on TikTok, but I'm not really good with dancing, right? So I've got a serious subject I want to talk about. Who wants me to dance? But if I've got to dance, I've got to dance. The algorithm wants what the algorithm wants. Or maybe I should be on Facebook. But hey, I have a younger crowd and I've got this Gen Z crowd and they don't go on Facebook. But I've heard that I should be on Facebook. So the first issue you have is a visibility problem. What platform should you be on to be seen and bold and sold, right? So that's a messaging problem. Because if they can't see you, they can't resonate with you, and then they can't buy from you. And then we have an authenticity problem. How do I show up as my original, unique, and authentic self without having to put this mask on or code switch in a way that connects with my audience? So many people come to me when they don't know how to do that. You know, they have a mask on, they have a facade, they're speaking and they're talking to their audience in a way they feel that they should. It almost feels like they're still in corporate. But they want to break out of that, because I always say, right, how long can you keep the act up? You know, a lot of people tell you to fake it till you make it. But if you are still faking it after years and years and years, that means you're never going to make it. It means you've never made it. So wouldn't it be exhausting to try and put somebody else's persona on every day? And after a while, it's going to crack, right? After a while, you're not going to be able to keep up that charade. So I teach people to amplify their authenticity. That means be you, louder, bolder online, unapologetically. And you still sell. In fact, that's the best way to stand out with your message, because nobody can deliver your message like you do. Every quirk, every idiosyncrasy, every characteristic, every intonation, every hand gesture, the way that you emote, it makes you uniquely you. And there's 7 billion people on the planet. There's definitely a very small fraction of that number who are going to definitely rock and ride with you. So most definitely. So for all you secret squirrels, all you best kept secrets, hiding behind the scenes, supporting your clients, supporting the industry, but not using your voice, it's time to stop hiding. I'm going to put you on notice. Absolutely time to stop hiding, because your audience want to hear from you. Your audience want to learn from you. Your audience is totally ready for your voice, absolutely ready for your voice. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you are more than enough as is to build an audience of loyal supporters and fans who buy from you. Okay. And so people come to me when they have that problem. They don't know how to be authentic. You know, they don't want to run to things like AI and ChatGPT, because even though those are tools that can help us in our business, they can't stand in and replace you, right? We cannot generate authenticity from AI unless we start with authenticity. All right. And so AI is just there to accelerate where we are, but it's not there to replace us in that way, because nobody can replace you. You are wonderfully and fearfully made, right? There's only one of you, right? Your thumbprint is unique. So let's leverage you to amplify your voice and amplify your business, and to serve the very people who need your help today. Because every message you keep stifled is a human being, a soul on this planet, who's been crying out and praying for the very voice that you've kept stifled, for the very help that you hold in your hands, okay? For the very emotion that you are keeping close to your chest. So the idea of messaging is not this technical copywriting escapade that we get very technical in. It's really being able to articulate your value in a way that feels authentic and transparent and original to you, and that relates to your audience and resonates with the people you know that you can help. Very important. So we've talked about visibility, we've talked about authenticity, and let's talk about transparency, right? So people get very icky when they talk about transparency, because to be vulnerable feels like you just have to bear all your dirty laundry online and talk about things that you would rather not to a group of strangers that you don't trust. And I really don't think transparency or vulnerability means those two things, but we do know that vulnerability sells, right? Because we're human beings and we need to create a human connection with the people that we want to serve. And so to me, vulnerability is something that sits on a spectrum, right? So on one side, you can be a secret squirrel where you don't share anything, you don't talk about anything that's dear to your heart, you don't talk about anything that feels a little bit touchy-feely or gives people the warm and fuzzies. You can be very business as usual. That's how we were taught to be in a professional world. If any of you guys came from a corporate background, it was business as usual. It was all professional. It was very staid. It was very clinical, and it was sterile. It was very clinical. It was very cold, right? So that's one side, okay? But on the other side, on the extreme end of the spectrum, I say there's something called TMZ tabloid. That's where you air everything, and you tell everybody everything, and you overshare, and it's TMI. Right? Almost like TMZ, that's very intrusive, invasive into people's privacy and life. So I'm not going to tell you what end of the spectrum you need to be, but I am going to say that somewhere along that line, there's an equilibrium where we call it tasteful transparency, where whatever you share, whatever you're comfortable with sharing, has a purpose and a reason. I often say that when we want to connect with somebody, we share stories, right? We share similarities, we share struggles. Doesn't mean that you're in the middle of the struggle and you share it, but you can be over it, right? So you share from a place of wisdom, from a place of understanding, from a place of empathy and compassion. And that really allows your audience to share with you. It really allows your audience to feel seen, heard, and understood. And that's where that vulnerability comes in. And that's why vulnerability wins. And it doesn't mean you have to have a rags to riches story. You have to make up all these tragic disasters in your life to be able to connect to people or to be in victim mode. Absolutely not. And vulnerability doesn't mean that you have to talk about, your trauma or things that you'd rather not share with people that you don't know. It absolutely doesn't, right? But it does mean that sometimes you share from the heart, that you empathize with people. You empathize with yourself, right? You give yourself grace, and you give others grace in your message. So you talk from a standpoint of you're talking to your audience. I mean, you're talking with your audience. You're not talking down to your audience, right? So it's friend-to-friend conversation that feels authentic. It feels like a warm embrace. And it allows us to create this space for vulnerability, but also keep in mind that privacy may be important and what we share and what we don't share. But everything that you share has a purpose. It's just not airing your dirty laundry or talking about things you'd rather not for no reason. And you absolutely get to decide what you share in your message. For those of you that are a little bit worried and saying, well, do I have to talk about all my business? Absolutely not. Right? Because what I want to say, that even in the most mundane things that happen in your life, you can pull an amazing message, right? The magnificent stories can come from the most mundane scenarios in your life. And that's where storytelling comes in to save the day, right? Because storytelling will make any mundane situation a blockbuster movie. Absolutely. And that's how we connect with people on that transcendental, emotional level that makes them open their hearts and their wallets and see you as an obvious choice in your niche because you've connected with them in a way that others cannot. Right? And then we're going to talk about this last concept of how to turn your message into a movement. Well, what is a movement? And I was trying to explain this to a client I had this week because they really didn't understand the concept of a movement. In marketing, we talk about your ideal client or your target market. And we also talk about things like, understanding their pain points, their challenges, their desires, their dreams, all those things that you need to profile to understand who your avatar is and to be able to speak to them. But what we also miss out is, what is your movement? Because the thing is, what we want a subsection of that market, because not everybody in that market that you're targeting is your customer, right? Is your client, is the very person that you want to serve. And ideal clients in my business, I call them crown jewel clients, because a crown jewel client is a dream client who is not only a pleasure to work with, but they also have the treasure to invest in your services, your offers, your programs at the level you require for them to get the transformation that they deserve. All right? So we don't want clients that nickel and dime us. We don't want clients that are uncoachable. We don't want clients that make you sad when you have to turn up to the call on Zoom. You want clients that feel like a breath of fresh air, clients that are coachable, who learn, who take action, who are committed, who are in it, and who actually see you as an expert. And so what I'm saying is a subsection of your market becomes your movement. And what is your movement? I feel that every one of us who's in this online space should be movement leaders. And a movement is the why behind your business. It's the reason you are motivated to do what you're doing that is more than the money. It's got nothing to do with the money. Sure, you might be making money, but it's bigger than the money. A movement will get people reaching out to you and having you on TV. A movement will have a whole tribe behind you, right? Spurring you on as their leader. A movement is a cause that makes this world a better place, right? A movement is your mission, okay? And your mission is achieved. Imagine if you were able to help 100,000 people in your business over the span of your business. If you were able to get them to success, 100,000 people, I'm just saying, how would that impact the world? How would that change this generation? How would that leave a legacy? Well, that's your movement. So often when we're talking about messaging, we're looking for that movement because that's what gets your movement citizens riled up, excited, connected, creates a community when you have a common cause, a social cause that's just not about money. It reveals your heart. It reveals your passion. It's always purpose driven. And it keeps people committed to your cause. There's so many different movements, right? So for instance, I have leadership coaches and their movement is to close the gender pay gap. Why? Because when women get equal pay, the whole world benefits, right? When women make money, your family makes money, the kids make money, women are generous, we're givers. Do you see what I mean? We serve, we're, if you're in your feminine, you're community-based. Do you see what I mean? We gather, we nurture, we create harmony. So everybody wins. So that could be a movement, right? You can find a movement if you have an altruistic reason for being in business. You're always going to find a movement, right? If you were a vet, okay, your movement, the social cause could be, being kind to animals because, when you're kind to animals, see what I mean? You're kind to mankind. All right, it's a different movement. Okay, if you go and look at a lot of the big companies out there, the Fortune 100 to 500 companies, if you go and check their mission statement, it all talks about a movement. They might be selling the same thing, guys. Let me give you an example. Whole Foods sells food, but Walmart also sells food, right? So if you go and check out the Whole Foods mission, it's about, right, nourishing people and the planet. And that's why Whole Foods sells a lot of organic products. And they're not the cheapest, but that's not Whole Foods' mission. It's about nourishing people and the planet. So being kind to your body and being kind to the planet. And that's why what they sell is in rhyme and reason with that mission statement, because it makes the planet a better place when we're kind to the planet, right? To the ecosystem, and we're kind to people, nourishing our bodies, everybody wins. But if you look at Walmart and it has a similar, right, it sells similar things. So I can get avocados from Walmart and I can get avocados from Whole Foods. Walmart's mission statement, their movement, how are they helping the planet? By giving people the cheapest possible option so they save money. by putting extra money in people's pockets, they are helping people all over the world. That's their mission statement. That's what they believe. By saving you money, by saving people money, right? They're adding to the global goodwill of this earth, whether you agree with it or not. So that's why in Walmart, you can always get the cheapest thing possible, right? Whole Foods, you could buy avocado for $5 because they're making sure that it's sourced from the right place, that it's organic, there's no pesticides, there's no additives. It's, the healthiest version of what we can put in our body. Whereas Walmart, not so much, okay? What they're really down to is what's the cheapest way that we can source this so we can pass those savings back to our customers. Do you see? They both have a mission statement. They both might give you the same product, but the reason why, the intention is different. And this is how you turn your message into a movement. With every message, there's a component of your message that really should talk about your mission and your movement. The why. Why do you get up every day to do this? Now, I know a lot of people think the movement is, hey, for my kids, I do this. I see this a lot, right? Hey, this is my why. And they'll show a picture of their children. Well, really, that's not really your movement. That's not really your why. That might be a component of your why. But are you only doing things for those 3 children that you have? Or are those children going to go out to impact the world in a bigger way, in a greater way, in a way that you couldn't? Imagine if 100,000 children were impacted, which might be what happens when we look at legacy, and exponentially, those children will have children, those children will have children, and children beget children, right? And so we look at the whole graph, and all of a sudden, 6-7 generations down, 10,000 people have been impacted, right? So I want every one of you to dig deep into your message, into your business, and find a mission and a movement. Something that's bigger than you, something that's bigger than the money, something that when you collectively, even if you couldn't help 100,000 people, it's just a dream, but we're just looking at the mission. But if you were to be able to help 100,000 people, even if you were to be able to help 1,000 people, what impact would that have on the world? If I was able to help 1,000 entrepreneurs get closer to 7 figures in their business, I know that there'd be a major impact in the world in terms of how they could give back to their community, how they could give back to their families, how they could strengthen their mental health, how they'd be an asset to those that they're hiring, okay? And so the ripple effects reach out. I know if I was able to provide a lifestyle, a freedom lifestyle that I never experienced from my parents, and I'm able to give that to my children without working myself to the bone, being able to show up for them physically, mentally, and emotionally, because I wasn't working crazy hours. I was able to give them things. And I don't always mean monetarily, right? I don't mean financial things. I might mean spiritual and emotional, because I'm more present. I know that by building that strong family structure, that I've actually imparted something into them that is way more valuable than money, okay? I know that by giving them memories, those memories will be indelible, and no one will be able to erase it, and they'll be able to live on those memories, those values, those lessons, those milestones that we've achieved together, and pass that down through generation for generation. So do you understand how messaging isn't just something that you need to do to create content in your business? Messaging has an emotional and vibrational aspect around it, which connects to people, with people on that human level. It connects soul to soul. And it's the lifeblood of your business. Without a strong message, without a clear message, without defined purpose, it's very hard for you to create a sustainable, 6 to 7 figure business online, where you need to create this personal connection, especially if you're selling high ticket. Because if you're asking people for high ticket money, if you've got like a coaching program that's between 3 and 10K, or if you're a consultant and you've got programs where you have a premium price tag, there needs to be, it's not like you're selling something, a commodity in Walmart for $10 where people don't really care who they bought it from. I bought lots of things from Walmart. I don't know what the brand is. Okay, right. Something's there. I buy loads of things for Amazon. I don't know what the brand is. Okay, it's probably some PLR or white label thing. I don't really care. But when it comes to this premium luxury coaching space that many of us are in, your brand, your message, and the content that you put out there, and the movement that you lead, the cause that you champion, is essential if you want to build and grow a long-term, sustainable, and profitable business. For those that are in it to win it, meaning like they just want to get rich quick scheme, or they don't want to put the work in, this message isn't really for you. You won't really care about building that movement. You won't really care about leading the charge. You won't really care about those things. But for those people who are here to transform, to be thought leaders, to lead, to live, to love, I want you to understand it rises and falls on your message. Your message is a verbal and vibrational representation of the heart, soul, and purpose that drives you to show up every day and provide solutions for people that you don't know, but you know are out there, searching for an option to be better in this world. And that's why I feel that being able to proclaim and publish a message, especially at this time when we have phones, we have social media, we can live stream to channels like YouTube, and our message could be heard by literal millions in a day. That's irresponsible if we don't get our message out there. It's irresponsible if we don't get our voice out there. We're being selfish if we don't share the purpose and the magic that's been deposited in us for a purpose. Right? For a reason. It hasn't been put inside you to be stifled and suppressed. It's been put inside you to proclaim, to heal, to solve, to remove bondage, okay? And to transform. And that's what I help you to do. I help you to articulate the ideas, the expertise, the purpose that is bubbling up inside in you, but you're not able to voice because you don't know how to get it out there, how to say it, what to post, what angle to take with my different messaging methodologies, frameworks. My business is to help you not only bring out a message that resonates, but bring out a message that you can stand by because you believe in it. Because many people don't believe in their message. They're just saying these things so they can make money. But that's not sustainable. So the idea is that you can stand behind your message because it comes from the heart. You can stand behind your message because you've got skin in the game. So you're talking from experience. You can stand behind your message because not only are you speaking, but you're listening to your audience. So you can empathize, so you can understand, so you can learn. Because as you're on this 7-figure ascent journey, it's also a journey where you learn. It's a journey where you make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes. It's a journey where everyone gets to be in the conversation because the collective brain of the movement is absolutely valuable. And we don't learn in silos. And that's what growth is about. It's a journey when sometimes you might have to pivot because you find that you're going down the wrong path with your messaging. And that's not it. That's not it. Many people are stuck in businesses that they hate, but they feel they have to keep going because they started out here. No, you don't have to. You can change your message and change your business. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? And pivots are absolutely essential at times because it means we've learned something and now we have to take a different plan of action. Absolutely natural. We shouldn't be in bondage to anything that doesn't serve us anymore. So guys, this is what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be a lot about mindset, messaging, and marketing to get you to your next financial milestone. If you're not making 7 figures, don't think this isn't for me. It's an ascent, meaning we are on the journey, right? So whether you're at 0, which is ground zero dinero, whether you're at 100K, which is 6 figures stamina, whether you're at $500,000, okay, or whether you're at 7 figure sum, it doesn't matter. Remember, it's an emotional, mental, spiritual, as well as financial journey. All these things have to come together to ensure that we're successful, but to ensure that we're healthy and happy along the way. Because who wants to white knuckle their way to the top? Who wants to white knuckle their way to success? Not me, right? And so that's what I am, and that's who I am, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm here to serve you. And I've decided to come out of hiding and show up where you can find me, because usually I'm in Facebook groups or on Facebook locked behind a paywall, so you can't get to my content. But the idea is to show up and serve, just like I ask my clients to do. But I also understand I have to do exactly what I'm asking my clients to do. So I've come out of hiding, and today is my first video on my new channel, 7 Figure Ascent. I hope you share it with your friends. I hope you subscribe. I hope you show up often, because I have amazing content that I'm going to be bringing out that's going to help you at whatever stage in business that you're at. Great frameworks and strategies for content. And sometimes we're just going to hang out on this channel and have a good old laugh, okay? Because laughter is part of the formula, right? We're going to have a good laugh, and sometimes we're going to lament about things that are going on in our business, because it's not just the wins we're here for. We're in for the woe as well. We're in for the triumph, and we're in for the tribulations. We're in for the highs, and we're in for the lows. That's what happens when you're ascending, when you're climbing, okay? But guys, we're all on this climb together. And I am so grateful and excited that you have chosen to walk with me on this journey and look at me as your guide, because remember, you are the hero on this journey. I am the guide, okay? Helping you one step at a time. But the real hero is you. You, the movement leader or the future movement leader. You, the future 7-figure ascender, all right? You, the winner. The fact that you have decided to step out from the status quo and take your first step and show up, clarify your message, streamline your marketing, put out amazing offers, bring in income outside of a W-2 or a paycheck, stand in the gap for your audience to solve, rather to whine and complain about the way things are. You've come up with solutions to fix them. That absolutely makes you a hero, especially at this time. It makes you a pioneer. It makes you a 7-figure ascender. Welcome. Great. So again, my name is Caroline Onyedema. I'm a messaging and marketing strategist, storytelling savant, and founder of the 7-Figure Ascent, where I help coaches, consultants, course creators, and experts in the online space who desire to move to their next major financial goal, ascend and anchor their profits so that they can make more, work less, and have greater joy in their business and life. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'll talk to you soon.